Good morning, students. Today, let's start our class with the lesson The Magic Bonbons, Part 2. We learned in our previous class that Bessie was playing the piano amazingly after eating the chocolate. Her parents, Mrs. and Mr. Boswick, and their two girls were listening her excellent playing. And they were also waiting for the sound of the dinner gong. Now, let's go through the remaining part of the chapter. While listening music, Bostwick was hungry, so he picked up the bonbon dish which lay on the table beside him and ate the pink confection. The professor was also watching him, so Mr. Boswick courteously held the dish towards him. The professor also ate the lemon yellow piece and the senator took the lavender piece. But he did not eat it, kept it in his vest pocket. Mrs. Bostwick also took and ate the remaining white bonbon. Soon, Mr. Boswick, he was a big man, great man, very prominent man. He started to sing in a shrill voice. That voice was very bad, and the song was not the same that Bessie was playing, and discord was so shocking. The professor smiled, and the senator put his hands to his ears, and Mrs. Boswick cried in a horrified voice. She never saw her husband like that way, so she called him and told him to stop his singing. But her husband continued his singing and paid no attention to his wife or his guests. That time the dinner gong sounded. Then Mrs. Boswick went and dragged Bessie from the piano and took the guests to the dining room. Mr. Boswick was singing very badly and he also followed them. Why? Why was he singing like this? Because he ate the magic bonbons, specially made for the young lady Claribel. The poor woman, Mrs. Boswick, was in despair at witnessing her husband's undignified actions and wondered what she might do to control him. All sat at the dining table till Mr. Boswick was singing. Then the maid brought the soup. Then the professor told to hold it higher. Okay. Then the maid gave to the professor. Okay. What she gave to the professor? The soup. Then he told it to hold it higher. Okay. Then what happened? Then the maid held the soup higher. Then soon the professor gave the plate a sudden kick. Why? Because he ate the lemon yellow piece of magic bourbon. Okay, if anyone eat it, they can easily kick 6 feet above the head. Okay, so the professor did like this. The broken pieces of dish with the soup fell on Bessie's head and the maid's head. Okay, and one piece on the bald head of the professor also. By seeing all this, the senator rose from his seat with an exclamation of horror and glanced at his hostess. Okay. After some time, Mrs. Boswick looked at Senator and she also started to recite a rhyme in a forceful tones. The senator was in a panic mood. Okay, he couldn't understand anything behind the strange nature of all. Okay, Mr. Bostwick family was a decent private family. In a panic mood, He looked at everyone, and the maid had run away to cry hysterically in the kitchen. Mr. Bostwick was still singing. The professor was trying to kick the globes. Mrs. Bostwick was reciting the rhymes. Bessie was also trying to play the piano. Soon the senator took his hat and coat and hurried from the home. Means he went from that house. He sat up late writing a political speech he was to deliver the next afternoon at Faneuil Hall. But his experiences at the Bostwicks had so unnerved him that he could scarcely collect his thoughts, and often he would pause and shake his head pityingly as he remembered the strange things he had seen in that usually respectable home. The next day he met Mr. Bostwick in the street but passed him by with a stony glare. He felt he really could not afford to know this gentleman in the future. Mr. Bostwick was naturally upset. Yet in his mind there lingered a faint memory of some quite unusual occurrence at his dinner party the evening before. The next day was the political meeting. Okay, on that occasion, the senator had to deliver the speech. The big hall was crowded with people, and in one of the front rows sat the Boswick family, with the Lord Ale professor beside them. They all looked tired and pale, and the senator was rendered so nervous by seeing them that he refused to look in their direction a second time. He became very panicked by seeing the professor and Boswick family in the front row. Okay, so he did not look there in a second time. While the mayor was introducing the senator to the audience, the senator was very scared. So he put his hand into his vest pocket. Then he found the lavender colored bonbon he had placed in the last evening. He thought that bonbons might clear his throat, so he ate that bonbon. After that, he started his speech. Soon he started to dance also. Why? Because he ate the magic bonbon. He was dancing amazingly. Everyone wondered because first time they all were seeing the senator dancing while he giving the speech. All spectators means the audience were upset, but the senator continued his dancing. Soon Claribel was also there. She shouted that the senator had stolen her magic bonbons, and she shouted there to seize and arrest him. But the ushers means escorts, didn't care her. Instead, they rushed her out of the hall. Okay. Then the senator's friends seized him. Seized him means stopped him. Okay. Firmly and took him into the car and instructed the driver to take him home. Then also the senator was interested to dance, and he danced on the seat of the car all the way to his home. Some boys also followed the car with delight. By seeing the senator dancing, some sober minded citizens whispered that another good man had gone wrong, means became mad. It took the senator several months to recover from the shame and humiliation of the wild and reckless act. What happened to Claribel? Of course, Claribel went again to the wise chemist and signed a check for another box of magic bonbons. And she must have taken better care of these, for she is Now, a famous vaudeville actress. Vaudeville means a popular form of entertainment in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, which included singing, dancing, and comedy. Students, hope you have understood this story well. Let's end this section here. Thank you.